Hey guys, and welcome back to Super Sim Saturdays with the GATE program. I'm Mrs. Javrutsky, and this week I'm going to introduce Do You Canoe? So first off, I want to give you some background information about the project that you're doing. We are going to work this week on some canoes. So it is around Thanksgiving time. We often think of learning about the Native Americans and the Pilgrims. So the video that I have to show you is going to be about the Mayflower and that boat that they brought across. You can pretend for your project that you're creating the Mayflower or a canoe. Don't really mind which one because you're going to make a boat. Okay, so I'm going to move myself off the screen for a second and let you guys watch the video.
Date, September 6th, 1620. Just 128 years since Columbus discovered America. The place, the harbor of Plymouth in England. A tiny ship called the Mayflower is being boarded by 102 people. There are 70 men and women. Some of the voyagers are people whom today we call pilgrims. They are leaving their homeland to seek more religious freedom in the New World. Some of the passengers, known as strangers, are merely seeking wealth in the new land. Some are indentured servants, and the rest are the crew who will sail the Mayflower. The pilgrims have a contract with English merchants who will finance the journey. The pilgrims and the merchants will share any profits from the new settlement. This, however, is the most dangerous undertaking. The voyagers realize that their very lives are at risk. They must cross the treacherous North Atlantic in a very small ship. The journey will take many weeks on the open sea. Men, women, and children will be traveling in unbelievably crowded conditions, sharing what little space there is with the precious cargo. The voyagers will hardly have any room in which to sleep and eat, let alone move about. Many will be leaving loved ones behind. And even if they survive this dangerous crossing, they will arrive at a virtual wilderness. However, their belief in God, their desire for freedom from religious persecution, and their dreams of creating a new world for future generations all make their life-threatening journey a risk worth taking. Let go! Let go! We made it, Charlie Brown! We made it! We did it, Lucy! We did it! We crossed the great ocean!
Just point me to the suggestion box. I've got a few choice words for the captain of this ship.
Good. The Mayflower has arrived. The date, November 9th, 1620. She first sights land 65 days and 2,750 miles from Plymouth, Devon. The average speed, 2 miles per hour. 2 days later, on November 11th, at 6:30 in the morning, they make their first landing at what today we call Provincetown Harbor. Because they have no charter or rules for the wilderness that stands before them, the Pilgrims write an historic agreement, which will eventually be called the Mayflower Compact. It establishes the plans for making the laws in the future. After an unsuccessful attempt to navigate further south, the Mayflower returns to Provincetown Harbor. The first group of men prepares to leave the ship and explore their new home. All the bone-weary passengers hope and pray that the worst is behind them. Of the original 102 passengers, 101 arrive, 2 having died in the crossing and 1 baby having been born. How many of these people will survive a winter in the wilderness is still in grave doubt.
All right, kiddos, so you want to know what your challenge is then, because I know I want to know my challenge. So you are going to be designing some tinfoil canoes, okay? So you're going to need some tinfoil, tape, a tub for water, obviously the water to go in the tub, and some pennies. The pennies are going to be our measurement tool for this activity. So what you're going to do is you are going to make yourself a boat out of tinfoil. So you're going to plan and design a canoe that can hold as much weight as possible. So the goal is to get the most pennies possible in this boat without it sinking. So you're going to start by drawing out your design. You're going to make your object, and then you're going to start tracking it on the table that's here on the chart. Okay, so you are going to say, did your canoe float? If it didn't float, it's going to be kind of hard to hold some pennies. So did it float? How much weight can it hold? So tell me exactly how many pennies it held before it sunk. And then what would you do next time? You position the weight differently? Are you going to change the shape of your boat? What are you going to do to change it for the next time? You're going to try it 3 times, or as many times as you want until you get tired of it, but at least 3 times, seeing if you can get more and more and more pennies at each time that you make additions or changes to your boat. Okay? So what you're going to do when you're done is you're going to go to the Flipgrid link. So it is flipgrid.com 6F90C67A. Okay, I really want to see these awesome canoe designs, so please make sure you share to the Flipgrid the awesome creations that you did make, and share your data with me so I can see how you guys did on the challenge. All right, until next week, have a good time, kids. I'll see you soon.